Peace, tech lovers, TechTube here, back with a new video in which we're going to discuss the new OLED screen laptop. Do not be surprised yet, so without any further ado, let's get started. Hello guys, so I know the first question that you might ask yourself, what difference does it make to have an OLED display in your laptop? So to answer this question, we need to understand a few points first, starting with when and how the OLED technology started. In 2007, Sony made the first OLED TV under the name of XL1, and it also was the thinnest as well during its production year. Putting into consideration that also called LEDs are just really LCD TVs that use LED for their backlight. This backlight creates the light that allows the LCD to create an image. However, there are multiple ways these LED backlights can be arranged, and that arrangement can have a dramatic effect on the picture quality. And to have a better understanding of OLED TVs, let us first understand how pictures are created on a LED TV. A LED TV is made of three main components: LED backlit diodes, liquid crystals, and color filters. So when we turn on our TV, these diodes get electrically charged and produce light. This light then passes through liquid crystals layer and a RGB color filter. RGB represent the three colors that are used, which are red, green, and blue. This filter is made of small individual color pixels which are capable of reproducing colors, and that's how we see pictures on our screen. On the other hand, inside our OLED display, each tiny OLED pixel in the screen creates light depending on how much electric current you send it. Lots of current, lots of light. No current, no light. And that's one key to the OLED's excellent picture quality. Since now we have a little bit of understanding of how it works, let's jump to our today's device. The laptop that we have today is the new Gigabyte Aero 15 OLED, a mobile workstation aimed at creators packing a ton of great hardware. This unit has a Core i7 9750H processor and GeForce RTX 2070 Max-Q graphics card. But this laptop can be upgraded as high as a Core i9 9980HQ and RTX 2080 Max-Q. And also, you get usual high-end specs including up to 32GB of RAM and a half terabyte of SSD. Today we are witnessing a very special monitor which is super interesting because it's one of the few OLED laptop screens going around. And from testing this display, we can learn a lot about how OLED might be suited to PC displays and how it compares to LCD panels that we normally use. It's very uncommon to see an OLED display paired with a PC. There have been a few laptops and monitors over the years to dabble in OLED, but up till now the technology has been largely kept to high-end TVs from the likes of LG and a wide range of premium smartphones. In 2019, OLED is making a jump over to PCs through a new 15.6-inch OLED display for laptops and a few interesting professional OLED monitors for creators. As mentioned previously, OLED pixels emit their own light, so they act as both the backlight and the crystal at the same time. This has significant benefits such as much higher contrast ratios, better viewing angles, better HDR performance, and better cooler performance. And in some situations, lower power consumptions because each pixel can be individually controlled. The main downside right now is image retention, which I will talk more about later. The OLED panel used on this laptop is a brand new offering from Samsung's Amoled division. A 15.6-inch 4K 60Hz panel with VISA Display HDR 400 True Black certification, indicating we are getting true HDR performance. The other good news, this new laptop's OLED does not suffer much from brightness limits. While displaying a full white window, the panel was easily able to achieve 390 nits of brightness, which is higher than most common laptop LCDs. Also, the contrast ratio is of course impressive. That's because OLED panels switch off entirely when displaying black content, so the contrast ratio is effectively infinite. This gives OLEDs deeper blacks than LCDs, and because the blacks are so deep and the contrast ratio is so high, it makes colors pop as a result. OLEDs does not suffer from any backlight bleeds or IPS glow issues that are otherwise inherent to LCD panels. OLEDs also have outstanding viewing angles, better than IPS and significantly better than LCDs. There is basically zero shift to brightness or colors when viewing this display at sharp angles, to the point where you can basically see everything perfectly from any reasonable angle. This helps a lot with content creation. You do not need to set in a sweet spot to see accurate colors because colors are accurate from most angles. The only downside to this OLED panel is one that remains a bit up in the air, which is image retention. OLEDs have come a long way in this department, but it's unclear how this specific Samsung Amoled will handle long periods of use with static content. We know that LG's OLED TVs, for example, take a long time to burn in. However, the tech used there is slightly different to Samsung's AMOLED. On a TV, this is not as bad of a problem, as most content you will be viewing, whether that's movies or TV shows or games, is generally highly dynamic. And if there is any static content, it could be a small logo that changed with different channels. However, PC usage has a static taskbar, often static navigation bars within apps, and large areas of static content. This is a scenario that is prone to burn in. With that being said, there is no competitor that gets close for the overall. And we're seeing top-of-the-charts performance in areas like contrast ratio, color performance, response times, and HDR capabilities. This display also blows away most desktop PC monitors, which is why we really hope we find a way to get more OLED displays up and running as monitors. Finally, the Gigabyte Aero 15 OLED comes at a premium as expected. This review unit, as configured, will set you back $2,500, which is $500 more than the non-OLED model. But that's the price you have to pay for killer tech. And you can go for a base model with the OLED display, and a GTX 1660 Ti starts at $1,700, and I will leave you all the links in the description box below. That's it guys, thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to like the video if you found it interesting, and leave me all your comments and questions below, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.